New developments tonight in the Aaron Hernandez murder trial. Today, a North Attleboro police captain returned to the stand as the defense questioned the way investigators handled evidence following the 2013 shooting death of Odin Lloyd. Eyewitness News reporter Susan Campbell is live outside Fall River Superior Court with the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom.
Today we saw photos of shell casings that were found at the scene. We also heard from investigators who were gathering evidence there. Soon after Odin Lloyd's body was discovered, a storm rolled in.
The wind was picking up, the trees were bending.
North Attleboro Police Captain Joseph Dorenzo testified that storm was a threat to important evidence.
We made a determination to collect the baseball cap, the towel, and also the blunt.
And the reasoning for collecting those items?
To secure them, to preserve them, make sure that in case there was any DNA trace evidence or anything that, we didn't want them, first of all, we didn't want them blowing away, and secondly, we certainly didn't want them getting wet.
But the defense has argued the police investigation was sloppy and tried to prove evidence wasn't handled correctly.
How did you decide which ones you had to wait on and which ones you could just go ahead and scoop up?
Well, the reason why we wanted to pick up the shell casings, for example, is because of the topography of the land. We were afraid that the water was it was raining so hard that the water would come down and possibly, especially the two shell casings that were in the ditch, the water would fill the ditch. The body of Odin Lloyd, obviously, we couldn't move, and then the footprints. A footprint's a footprint. I mean, you can't move them, so we had to cover those.
Is it your testimony that this canopy over Mr. Lloyd's body and this tarp cover the entire crime scene? Is that your testimony, Captain Dorenzo?
Well, to cover the entire crime scene, we would need probably a circus tent.
We also heard testimony about police searching for the murder weapon in a lake in Miami Gardens, Florida.
Was a .45 caliber firearm ever located?
No.
Tomorrow, the jury will visit several places that are crucial to this case, including Aaron Hernandez's home. Coming up new at 6, why the defense has to make some changes there before the jury view. Live in Fall River with the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.
Now Hernandez on trial. Testimony continued today in the former Patriots player's murder case. Investigators took the stand again today, and we also learned more about the jury's trip outside of the courtroom tomorrow. New at 6, why the defense has to make some changes at Hernandez's house before the jury can see it. Eyewitness News reporter Susan Campbell joins us now live outside Fall River Superior Court.
Prosecutors say they went to the home yesterday and compared what they saw to old surveillance video. They say there are new trophies, new football memorabilia, and they don't want those things to influence the jury. Prosecutors say Aaron Hernandez's North Attleboro home looks nothing like it did in June of 2013, right after Odin Lloyd's death.
We went there yesterday, Your Honor, and it's not remotely the same as it appeared back in June of 2013. And we specifically, in our filing, Your Honor, pointed out essentially how the house in the O.J. Simpson case was changed and manipulated. I just, if I could, Your Honor, with regards to photographs, memorabilia, items relating to overt displays of religion.
The jury will visit there on a jury view on Friday. The judge has already ruled the house has to look the way it did when police were searching it.
This house is not a museum. It's been lived in for 21 months.
Well, it may be lived in, but to the extent there are religious items, photographs, memorabilia, trophies, things that weren't there before. No one is saying if there are, if a different couch or the color of the couch has been changed, but those kind of items, the court would require be removed or entirely covered up.
Hernandez's defense team agreed to remove or cover all of the new photos and football memorabilia. Speaking of football, an apparent Deflategate joke that fell flat.
Did you ever receive training in football deflation devices?
No.
The exchange happening right after the witness testified about tire tracks at the crime scene and having specialized training on a tire deflation device. Today, we also heard testimony from police. They explained how they tried to preserve evidence at the crime scene as a storm rolled through, while the defense tried to prove that evidence was handled incorrectly. Live in Fall River with the Southeastern Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom, Susan Campbell, Eyewitness News.